I profoundly accept this nomination for President of the United States.
The Republican National Convention is officially over. President Trump accepting his party's nomination last night and laid out the case for another 4 years. Abdul Hakim Shabazz, editor of Indy Politics, joining me now live to break down some of the big takeaways. Good morning to you first, and second, what'd you think of everything that happened?
Well, I thought it was interesting. Number one, I thought it was sort of two conventions and sort of two distinct messages. There were messages to Donald Trump's base that he was trying to get to with things like law and order and then the culture wars. But then there was also the message to maybe sort of the moderates and independent voters who may not be crazy about Trump, but maybe like some of his policies. That's why they talked about things like the unemployment rate, things like the economy. So I thought it was sort of a dual message convention overall. Of course, I did say that. I will say this. I was going to do a shot every time I heard the word socialist being used, but I figured I'd be drunk about 10 minutes into the time the convention started. So I decided to take a pass on all that. But overall, I thought it was mixed messages.
Well, do you think those messages worked?
I think for his base, the message worked just fine. For the moderates independents, that's going to take a while. Hopefully, there'll be some polling out in the next few days or so that'll give us some sort of idea as to whether that message actually resonated. We do know that the first day of the Republican convention was not as watched as the second day, but like I said, once again, once there's some polling out, we'll probably have a better idea as to where that message with those moderates, independent voters actually worked.
And speaking of polling, Joe Biden, from everything I've seen, got virtually no bump from the DNC thing, but it was also virtual. There was no crowd there. In this case, there was a crowd of about 1,500 people at the White House. Do you think that will help?
I think it depends. Also, you're right, Joe Biden didn't get much of a convention bump, but he was also ahead by 6 to 10 points also. So he really didn't necessarily need a bump. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Donald Trump and what happens with his support. Like I said, his supporters, they love him. He's all good. Like I said, it's those moderate independent voters that you need in the presidential election to win. That's where I'm going to be looking at to see what happens with polling.
And one of the discussions there, obviously, was to a certain extent about the coronavirus and his response to it. But you're noting, and you and I were talking in the commercial about the face mask situation.
Yes. There was very little social distancing at the president's speech. Very few people wearing masks, which kind of had me sort of wondering, like, okay, what the heck is kind of going on here? Because you don't want a situation like they did in Tulsa, where you don't have you have all these crowds and people end up catching COVID-19. So I could see the narrative the president and his people are trying to push, which is, hey, COVID is behind us. We're going to have a vaccine maybe this year, which is a bit wishful thinking in my part, but the fact that there was very little social distancing and no mask, that had me worried and concerned, particularly what could possibly happen in a couple of weeks and who comes back with COVID-19.
I'm just curious, do you think polls are going to matter? They obviously did not for the last election. They had Hillary Clinton leading. She ended up losing in terms of the Electoral College. But right now, President Trump has it at 42%, the only president never to hit 50 in the Gallup polls. But do you think that even matters because he won the last one?
But here's the thing about the last poll. I'm actually getting ready to write a column about this. Is number one, the polls were actually right. The national polls were pretty much right on the money. It was a statewide polling, and you got to remember, in places where Donald Trump won, it was within the margin of error. So, like, let's say Wisconsin, where it was a 3% margin of error, but they were close. Donald Trump won because he was in the MOE. So the polls weren't necessarily wrong. Is that we didn't always read them the correct way. Now, there were some outliers like Ohio, which was weird. But for the most part, the polls pretty much got it right.
Where can people go to see that upcoming column and previous ones, Abdul?
It'll be at indypolitics.org a little bit later this week. Sorry, not this week, a little bit later next week. I've been up all night long.
Yeah, you're doing yeoman's work. I did not. I got to admit to it. Abdul Hakim Shabazz, thanks for being up late at night and up early this morning. We do appreciate it.
Hey, good to be here, my friend.
All right, Jess, over to you.